श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमव्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। या रमेश जी, डॉक्टर रमेश। Let's start from 22.
26.
22.
25, right?
22.
All right.
यं लब्ध्वा चापरं लाभम्
यं लब्ध्वा च परं लाभम्
मन्यते नाधिकं ततः
मन्यते नाधिकं ततः
यस्मिन् स्थितो न दुःखेन
यस्मिन् स्थितो न दुःखेन
गुरुणापि विचाल्यते
गुरुणापि विचाल्यते
संविद्यात् दुःखसंयोग
वियोगम् योगसंज्ञितम्
स निश्चयेन योक्तव्यः योगो निर्विण्णचेतसा संकल्प प्रभवान् कामान् त्यक्त्वा सर्वान् शेषतः मनसैवेन्द्रियग्रामम्
मनसैवेन्द्रियग्रामम्
विनियम्य समन्ततः
विनियम्य समन्ततः
शनैः शनैरुपरमेत्
शनैरुपरमेत्
बुद्ध्या धृतिगृहीतया
बुद्ध्या धृतिगृहीतया
आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा
आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा
न किञ्चिदपि चिन्तयेत्
न किञ्चिदपि चिन्तयेत्
यतो यतो निश्चरति
यतो यतो निश्चरति
मनश्चञ्चलमस्थिरम्
मनश्चञ्चलमस्थिरम्
ततस्ततो नियम्यैतत्
ततस्ततो नियम्यैतत्
आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत्
आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत्
प्रशान्तमनसं ह्येनम्
प्रशान्तमनसं ह्येनम्
योगिनं सुखमुत्तमम्
योगिनं सुखमुत्तमम्
उपैति शान्तरजसम्
उपैति शान्तरजसम्
ब्रह्मभूतमकल्मषम्
ब्रह्मभूतमकल्मषम्
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानम्
युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानम्
योगी विगतकल्मषः
योगी विगतकल्मषः
सुखेन ब्रह्म संस्पर्शम्
सुखेन ब्रह्मस्पर्शम्
अत्यन्तं सुखमश्नुते
अत्यन्तं सुखमश्नुते
सर्व today we're going to do 29 सर्वभूतस्थं
सर्वभूतस्थम्
आत्मानं
आत्मानं
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा
ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा
सर्वत्र समदर्शनः
सर्वत्र समदर्शनः
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानम्
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानम्
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा
ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा
सर्वत्र समदर्शनः
सर्वत्र समदर्शनः धन्यवाद
So we completed two shlokas, 27 and 28. In 27, it was said that the sukham approaches the yogi. Sukham yoginam upaiti. The happiness reaches the yogi. And then opposite of that is said here in 28. Yogi sukham ashnute. Yogi sukham ashnute. Yogi gains sukha, or yogi approaches sukha. And we saw that Krishna would have said it this way, because there is really no two objects that are supposed to meet. If two objects are separate and they are supposed to meet, then you can say A can go to B. So this time we have Christmas coming up. And so last time you visited us. So this time we will visit you. Okay. So we have to do some masala has to be there in life. No? You have to keep on changing the formula. Otherwise it becomes too boring. So, or we will go to some other place. How about we meet for Christmas in a place C? Okay. So that kind of idea can be there. But here, this Sukha and Atma are not two different things. And therefore, Krishna puts it this way. We saw that last time. And why is that? Why is it so? We said this Atma is something, is the only thing which I am seeking all the time. But it happens to be something that is already accomplished. I am seeking fullness, but fullness is my nature, and I don't know it. And so this falls in the category of what is called praptasya prapti. Correct? We saw that last time. I'm just repeating, recapping, okay, recapitulating. And so everything in this world, in my life so far that I have accomplished, is something that before accomplishing was not accomplished. So apraptasya prapti, that is the meaning of accomplishment. Otherwise, what? You don't buy a car that you already have. I want to buy a car. Okay, go ahead and buy a car. No, but I want to buy that car. What car? That car, which is my car, which is already my car. You can't buy your car. Somebody else can buy your car, but you can't buy your car. Even God cannot help you. So you do all tapas and say, I want to buy my car. And God is saying, can you think of something else? And I'll give you that also. But you think of something else. I've come all the way from there to give you something. And you're asking me for your own car. So it won't work. So therefore, this thing, though, praptasya praptihi. And so last time it was mentioned. So Shreyas and Preyas and Pravritti Nivritti. So I have to change the order of the words here. So Pravritti we said last time, which is apraptasya praptihi, and which is also called Preyas. That life where it's called a life of becoming, and it's called Preyas. Prayers. Another technical word that is used is prayers. And what is the opposite of that? Well, nivrittihi. And then praptasya praptihi, correct? Gaining of what is already gained. Okay. Also called shreyas. Okay. Shreyascha prayascha manushyametaha. Like that, Yamadharmaraja tells Nachiketa. There are two types of lifestyles, he says. And then one is prayas, the other is shreyas. And he says, Nachiketa, you have taken the path of Shreyas. Like that, he applauds Nachiketa after all the tests that Nachiketa passes. And so we saw all that in the last class. And continuing that discussion here, he is saying, let's look at this. Shloka number 29. The verb in the shloka is ikshade. Ikshate. That's the only verb here in this shloka. Okay. Ikshate. Ikshate means what? Pashyati. Pashyati means what? Sees. The person sees. Person sees. Okay. Ikshate. Okay. Who sees? Who sees? Yoga Yukta Atma. Yoga Yukta Atma. Ikshate. So Yoga Yukta Atma. So similar sounding words we have seen in many shlokas before. So here, Atma here refers to the mind of the person. So because contemplation is being talked about, Yogena Yuktaha Atma Yasya Saha. So Yogena, Dhyana Yogena Yuktaha. The one who is adept at contemplating, at Dhyanam. And so Dhyanena Yuktaha, one who is disciplined by this Dhyana Yoga and whose mind is disciplined by Dhyana Yoga, or the one whose mind is resolved by Dhyana Yoga. That is the other meaning of it. Because disciplined by Dhyana Yoga is okay, that's a discipline. But discipline cannot give you knowledge. Understand that. Discipline is not a pramanam. Discipline is to get the antakarana shuddhi, and then jnanam becomes the pramanam. And therefore, here, one whose mind is resolved by Dhyana Yoga. And dissolved means what? What is just a word? It's an English word, resolved. Okay, ice gets resolved in water. When you put an ice block in water, after some time, ice is gone, gets resolved in water. But the water is very much there. Ice is resolved. Like that, you can think of resolved as dissolved, things like that. But resolved means what? Krishna is explaining. Sarvatra samadarshanaha. That samadarshanaha is an adjective to yoga yuktatma, correct? That yoga yuktatma, who is a sarvatra samadarshanaha, okay, who sees the same everywhere, correct? Sarvatra samadarshanaha, sees the same everywhere. And again, this word cannot be new to you, okay? Sees the same everywhere. So you have to recall Shloka number what? 18th Shloka of the 5th chapter, 580. So what does it say? So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavihastini, Shunichaiva Shwapakecha, Panditas Samadarshanaha, Samadarshinaha there, not Darshanaha, Darshina. So we saw that. So the person sees the same Atma in all people. However worshipful the people are, Brahmane, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane, or dog eater, Shunichaiva Shwapakecha. You can't even imagine somebody eating a dog. But there are people who eat dogs also in this world. And there are people who love dogs, there are people who eat dogs also. And so that's we saw that there. And then in the 9th shloka of this chapter, 6-9 also, I think we've seen it. Suhran mitra yudasina madhyastadveshya bandhushu. So in your friend and in your enemy, that person sees the same Atma. So we saw that before. So sarvatra samadarshanaha. So samadarshanaha means and also we saw samaloshtashma kanchana, jnana vijnana triptatma, right? In the same 6th chapter. The other 2 examples are in different living beings, okay, in Brahmana, Gavi, Hastini, etc. And but here samaloshtashma kanchana, that also we saw in verse number 8. So in inanimate objects also, in things also, the person sees the same Atma. Okay, we've already covered that ground. And so here, whenever we say object, okay, that object has a particular quality. And the quality is what is the attribute of the object, okay? So dear friend is sitting there. You have to so pot, ghataha. So when you say this is an object, there are 2 things about this. One is something that is common to all objects, including this object. Okay. And in this case, we can say in the world of clay objects, clay is common to all the clay objects that you're seeing. And that's common. And then there is the uncommon thing, which is pot, nama rupa, a name and form. Here it is a pot, somewhere else. A couple of days ago, I was our caregiver, she was seeing a video on YouTube and she showed it to me. They're making something, some vada or something they were making. But then this house is a house in some village somewhere, because it's a thatched house. And then in the kitchen, every container was a clay container. Can you imagine a house where every container is a clay container? She's the mud pot, she's making this, she's ground all the chana dal, etc. And she's mixing, okay? And that's a clay container. Then she's bringing spices. And then the spice box that you have, she has a nice spice box. Every container is a small pot like this. And pot means it's a little bowl like, small bowl like. And it has a clay lid also. And then you look around, and in the video, you can see her home. And pots are all hanging. Clay pots are all there. And she's washing her hand from of course, a clay pot, water in a clay pot. I was just amazed by it, and how long it's been. Even my village, there were some clay pots where I was born. But even at those days itself, 60 years ago, 55 years ago itself, there were a lot of metallic, pots and pans, and this ever silver and all they say. So it was there. But so I was just amazed. I said, this is a great place to have a Vedanta class, So this common thing, clay is nirvishesha. And the very specific thing to this pot, that mithyatvam is nama rupa, which is pot or potness. What makes you call this a pot? Hey, I know it's a pot. I've seen it before, and it's a quality. It is of a particular shape. It has a belly, and then it has a neck and all that. You say, okay, put all those words in one word called potness. Potness. It has potness, therefore I call it a pot. Okay, that potness is vishesha, quality, attribute, and then this clay is nirvishesha. It's the content. It is the thing that is common to all objects. And so, sarvatra samadarshana, that wise person sees this nirvishesha. The nirvishesha clay that person sees in all objects and all things. Okay, that also we've seen. And a better example, some of you would say golden ornaments. That is a better example, because we are good at seeing gold where there is gold. And so that example can be given here also. And so all the nama rupas are the things that are different from object to object, but what's not different is one that the person sees. And at the same time, the person sees Atma in everything, but also sees the nirvishesha. Okay, so that's important. So that is why the marriage of the daughter is happening, and the father is a wise man. Okay, he is Atma Jnani, Brahma Jnani, and so he decides. Okay, gold, copper, everything is Atma. So who said, is there a rule that you have to buy golden ornaments for the daughter's marriage? No, there's no rule like that. And goes around buying all kinds of stuff. And everybody in the home is going, what is this? Copper bangle. Who's going to wear this copper? It's called kada. And copper kada, those people wear, some people wear. This is marriage, you forgot. Copper kada has a value. I know what it is. I'll keep it for a later time. Where is my golden bag? That's what she will say. And so, sarvatra samadarshana, but at the same time recognizes things as they are, so that the interaction is normal. So therefore, here this dhyana refers to that. The contemplation refers to, you have to jump a little bit from dhyanam, thinking of something, some mantra chanting. You have to jump to what? To recognizing this truth that you've already understood through Shravanam. And that Shravanam, what is understood, is brought into mind during this period of contemplation, during the period of nididhyasanam. Okay. And so we have to do that, because the orientation is that I am the body. I am as good as the body. And I am no better than the body. I am as good as my mind. I am no better than the mind. Whatever happens in the mind is real. And so I am that. So whatever feelings I have, I am that feeling. That's how the orientation is. So that's why two kinds of conclusions I make. What kind of conclusion? I am thin, I am fat, I am tall, I am blonde, this and that comes. And I am, so then what? I am as good as the attribute of my body, correct? The body is 6 feet 2 inches, and so I am tall. Or the body is only 4.5 feet. I'm very short. So I am short. That is one view. One view is I am the body, or I am mind also. I am sad. I am agitated. I am happy. So all that is there. It is all based on the status of the mind. So that is one conclusion. I am as good as the body or the mind. That is one conclusion. Or the other conclusion is what Ramesh ji said the other day. This is my hand. You don't say I am the hand. So this is my hand. That means what? My hand means there is somebody other than the hand who is possessing this hand. Just like I can say, these are my glasses. These are my glasses. Of course, it's of no use to you. And so my glasses. That means the glasses belong to somebody other than the glasses. There is a person and to whom these glasses belong. So like that, my hand, if I say, this hand belongs to somebody who is not the hand. Therefore, that is other type of conclusion. Is what? Atma is something that is there inside the body. Correct? These are the only two conclusions I can make about myself. I am the body. That is a common conclusion. Or a little more, Atma. Oh, after knowing the Shastram, there is no, the Atma is there. Atma is there. Atma is there. I don't know what Atma is, but Atma is there in the body. That much is clear. And after death, the body goes away, but this Atma survives. This idea everybody has. Correct? That is the common address. Atma is there inside the body which survives. Okay, these are the two. Now, this first line, Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam, Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani. Two things are being said. Okay, two things are being said. So Sarva, and this line negates this vision, this conclusion I make that I am the body or I am inside the body. These are the two conclusions I can make about myself, and this line negates both those conclusions. And what is this line? And this line says, Ikshate. I said the verb is ikshate. We said yoga yuktatma ikshate. That also we said, correct? And then yoga yuktatma means sarvatra samadarshana. One who sees everything, sees. And then sees what? Sees Atma in the first line, middle of the first line, Atmanam. Sees Atma. Okay. And what kind of Atma he sees? Sarva Bhutastam Atma. Sarva Bhutastam. The Atma which is there in all beings. Atma which is there in all beings. Sees the Atma which is there in all beings. Ikshate, sees. Okay. Okay, that's the first half of the first line. Okay. Let's look at that. That means what? So far I was thinking Atma is specific to me and it is inside the body. But then Shastran comes and says, okay, the Atma that is there in your body, and what about the Atma in the other person's body? Does he have Atma in the body or not? Yeah, Atma is there. What about she? Oh, she also has Atma. So many Atmas are there. Okay. What is the relationship between these Atmas? Krishna is saying it is the same Atma because he is using Atma in singular. So he is not saying Atmanaha, he doesn't say. He says Atmanam. It is singular. So it is Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam. The Atma which is the same in all beings. Previously I didn't know that. Now I am told by Krishna, it is the same Atma. Same Atma is there in all beings. Okay. So even this is not complete because same Atma is there in all beings. The kidney, everybody has a kidney. Suppose somebody says, everybody has a kidney. Yeah, okay, at least human kidneys for now. Let's keep for the sake of discussion. Human kidneys. All human kidneys must be same. That is why there is this nephrology. And nephrology is talking about the human kidney. And when you study nephrology, You become a doctor, a nephrologist, and you are qualified to treat any human being on earth. You can't say, nobody will say, oh, you got a degree in America, therefore only Americans you can treat. Indians, they have a different kidney, different, because they have all this turmeric and all these red things, chili, this and all they take. So their kidney is different, and American kidneys are very different. They all eat all this raw vegetables and a lot of salad and this and that. So their kidneys work different. Yeah, their kidneys work, and maybe the constitution is different, but same same kidney, correct? The same kidney is there. So is this a way to think about this Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam? Therefore, he's going to add another half, which is Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani. He's going to say that. Okay. So, so before we do that, before we go to that second quarter, Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani means what? First quarter is Sarva Bhutas, Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam, the Atma that is there in all beings. Second half, he says, second quarter, he says, Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani. Atmani means located in Atma. All beings are located in Atma. What? The Atma is located in all beings. Okay, I understand that. Then all beings are located in Atma. Okay. Therefore, this kidney idea should go away, because same kidney is located in all human beings. Okay, I can appreciate that somewhat. All human beings are located in the kidney. That is not acceptable. That's not acceptable at all. We can't accept that. And so, but here, with respect to Atma, this is exactly what he's saying. Atma is located in all beings. All beings are located in Atma. Okay, look at the way we're progressing here. Okay, so now this Ikshate is a verb. He sees Atma, she sees Atma. That Yoga Yukta Atma sees Atma. This seeing, if it has to do with anything to do with using the sense organs or the mind, then the Atma will become Anatma. Because Atma becomes an object. Any object of my perception is Anatma. The perceiver is Atma. Everything else that is perceived is Anatma. That is our understanding of Atma. And so here, this seeing cannot be that kind of seeing. And there is no way of objectifying Atma, because Atma is the subject, can never become the object. We know that. And so that to which everything becomes evident. Everything becomes evident. The whole world becomes evident to whom? That I is Atma. That is the way to look at it. That I is Atma. So that self-existent being, conscious being is Atma. Okay, we appreciate that. We understood that. And otherwise, what will happen? If you say the person has finally found Atma in the heart. Where is it? It is there in the heart. Okay. Then we have to approach the medical community, because we have seen, we've drawn the anatomy of the body when we were studying biology and all that. And then we used to have the sketchbook, and then we used to have this drawing book, and we were asked to draw all these things. I don't know if these days in school they make you do all this, but we used to do all that. And it's a long drawing book, used to be long, odd size paper, and I used to divide the page into two, and then left side of the page, right side of the page, all this anatomy and this, that we used to draw. And then put an arrow mark and say, oh, this is the rib cage, this is the heart, this is the kidney, put an arrow. Nowhere in any book I have seen pointing to the heart and say, this is Atma. I've not seen a diagram like that yet. And so we have to ask why they have not said it like that. If Atma is located in the heart or somewhere in the body, there is no arrow mark pointing to this Atma. And so Then I suppose there must be a reason for that. So there is no location for Atma. There is no location for Atma. Why there is no location for Atma? Because Atma is consciousness. And why can't consciousness be located somewhere? And that is because consciousness has no location. No location. Everything becomes evident to consciousness, to Atma. And that Atma, because it's all pervasive, it can't have a location. Location is only possible for finite things. For the where is the infinite located? Where is the infinite? Where is the universe located? Suppose somebody, interesting, I never thought like this. Where is the universe located? Suppose somebody asked this question. How will you answer this question? It's a grammatically correct statement. Where is the universe located? Universe is an object. Where is it located? How will you answer the question? And you have to, if your son or daughter, I'm preparing yourself because some of you have young children. Ami is laughing there, and they have young children, so they struggle. I understand their struggles. So I'm preparing you periodically, giving you all these things. Don't get upset with your children. Don't say, "Shut up! You cannot ask all these questions." Don't say all that. You better start thinking now. And so you can't answer the question because everything is located in the universe. You can ask, where in the universe is the Milky Way located? Okay, that's okay. That we can handle because universe is bigger than the Milky Way. And so we can ask the question. That also will be a difficult question to answer, but at least that is possible. But here, this where doesn't come into picture. When you say where is something located, what is the meaning of that? See, I want to come and see you. Where is Coimbatore? You can ask the question. Why? Because you have an idea of all places. You have an idea of geography, and I'm located somewhere here in Delhi, and I've never moved out of Delhi at all. And yeah, I've heard of Coimbatore. Tell me a little more about Coimbatore. You can say that. And so I want to come to Coimbatore because all places there is a geography. You have an idea of space already in your mind. You know what space is. And you know that the space accommodates so many things. And my house is here, your house is there, neighbor's house is there. I have to walk to the neighbor's house if I want to speak to the person. So I have to go there. Spatially separated. When space is given, then you can talk about location. Correct? When space is taken for granted, the minute you ask where is Coimbatore, you are taking space for granted. Correct? Understood. In our conversations, it's understood. Space is given. And so you can ask the question where. And in America, once I got a nice lesson. This there is the letter V in English, and then there is the letter W in English. What is the difference? Huh? What is the difference between these two letters? Can you interchange them in terms of pronunciation? I see. I was talking to somebody at work, and then they started laughing at me once because I said something like in India we don't know how to. There is no difference, but there is only one letter Va in all Indian languages. Sanskrit Va, Hindi Va. That's it. There are not two Vas. Here, this Va sounding, there are two letters V and W. So Indians don't distinguish between V and W. That's it. Period. Only when pronouncing, we say V, the letter V, and then the letter W. That's it, over. But in America, I got a shock. And somewhere they laughed at me and they said, "What happened?" They said, "Oh, you mean voice? You mean voice? Voice?" I said, "Yeah, I mean voice. No, it's not voice. It's voice. Voice. You have to kind of, you have to squeeze your lips and then you have to tell. Then that becomes a voice. But why? So W means you don't squeeze your lips like that. I'm not good at this, but there is a difference. I think some of you can advise. So this is what comes with. So this is where, what, when, and all. We have to be careful asking these questions, and that's what I learned in America. But anyway, this where when you, that's by the way, where when you say where means you are taking space for granted. When you say when is your daughter coming home? Vacation time. When's your daughter? When? When you say when, that means what? You are assuming time is given. We take time for granted. We take time for granted. Is it not? Very obvious. Thankfully, the sun is rising and setting, rising and setting. And so it gives us an idea today, tomorrow, yesterday, or day after tomorrow, next week, next month, like that, we have an idea. Suppose there was no sunset and sunrise. Suppose, just imagine. How will you have this time access? There won't be any today and tomorrow. Can you imagine? Can you even imagine a life like that? It will be difficult. It will be difficult to imagine. So this time is taken for granted. Correct? Time is taken for granted. And so time itself is not there. Time itself is a concept, my dear. There is no absolute thing called time. Yesterday, tomorrow, and all is all relative. There is no absolute existence for time. And time, that is why when you go to deep sleep, time goes away. Time is a concept. That's when you realize, oh, time is a concept. Time also is gone. That is why we love to sleep, because we are burdened by all this tomorrow, day after tomorrow, future, and this and that, and the future is a big problem for us. A lot of anxiety. So when I go to sleep, future disappears, past also disappears, present as a concept disappears, but I am present. That's it. I exist. So this time is a concept. The minute you wake up, all these concepts come rushing into your mind, including the concept of self. Oh, I know who I am. Because for a while, sometimes, it takes a while. After deep sleep, somebody wakes you up and then you wake up and you say, what? When you say what is happening? That identity is not there yet. The Ahankara is coming, and the idea that who I am, where I am, and house, okay, this hotel, I'm in a hotel now. Oh, I see. Okay. I came to Delhi the other day. Okay, I'm in a hotel. All this, it takes a fraction of a second to come, correct? So until then, it's not there. So this time also is like that. Time is a concept. What about space? Space is also a concept, my dear. There is no absolute space. Space depends on you for its existence. Space is a concept, just like pot depends on clay for its existence. Space depends on Atma, you, for its existence. Time depends on you for its existence. Amazing, is it not? Amazing. This is what differentiates classical mechanics from relativity, theory of relativity, and things like that. And Einstein much later recognized that we have taken time for granted. Once you recognize time is taken for granted, then we say time is a concept. It is a concept, and all concepts depend on Atma for its existence. Atma sustains time. Consciousness sustains time. Consciousness gives existence to time and space, like it gives existence to everything else in this universe. And so that is that Atma, Sarva Bhutastam, that Atma in which all beings exist, including time and space. Okay, this is not some ordinary concept. This is brilliant. And including time and space, it gives existence. And so that is the Atma here that is being talked about. And so in general consciousness, when we say, we associate it with living beings, because conscious being versus a pot. Pot is not conscious of the world. I am conscious of the pot is not conscious of me. Therefore, I have consciousness, pot does not have consciousness. Correct? That is the common understanding of consciousness. But what we say is, consciousness is manifest in me, in a human being or in a living being with a particular constitution. Consciousness can be manifest to such a point that that person can become conscious of everything else in this world. Whereas here also consciousness is very much there in this pot, but not manifest that much that it has that attribute of being conscious of other things. Okay, same consciousness. Okay, and how can you say same consciousness is here? Well, already we know pot is mithya, depends on clay for its existence. Then what about clay? Well, clay is also mithya. It depends on something else for its existence. Some particles, then some atoms. And then finally, what will be left is pot exists. So that existence is what is left. Existence is left. That existence is consciousness, which is Atma. Okay. That is the way to understand this. And so that Atma, that I, is the Sarva Bhutasthaha Atma. And the wise person sees that Atma, means understands Atma as being abiding in all beings. Correct? Beautiful, is it not? Not difficult at all. It appears difficult. You know why? Because we're not used to thinking like this. You know, we got carried away by Nama Rupa, Mithya, name and form, and I've forgotten to pay attention to the Satyam. That is why it is difficult. So it is like the dog's tail, you know, they say you can never straighten the dog's tail. And so we are now trying to straighten it, that's all. But actually it's easier than straightening the dog's tail. So I take back what I said, okay? The dog's tail cannot be straightened. I don't mean to imply that our job is like that, okay? I take back that statement. Okay, all right. So now, having said that, he's saying, Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani. Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani. Means Sarva Bhutani, all beings, cha Atmani, and all beings are in Atma. Having said that Atma is in all beings, he's saying all beings are in Atma. So this is where this is the key now, because as I said, if he stops with Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam, then it can be anything like kidney or anything. Any object, there can be an object you can find. Atom. Atom is there in all beings. If you say, okay, atoms are there in all beings. Electron is there in all beings. Yeah, that is okay. That's actually physics also proved it. So that's possible. But then all beings are in atom. If you say, that is the statement being made here. All beings are in Atma. Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani. And this is like saying pot is in clay. Okay, this is resolution. This is where resolution comes into picture. You are resolving the pot. You have thought all along it is a pot, but then you didn't realize that pot really is in clay. We thought clay was in pot because it's a clay pot, you know. Clay is in pot because pot is noun. But then I told you the other day, it's no longer clay pot. It is potted clay. Okay. So pot is in clay. Means what? Pot is sustained by clay. Pot is in clay. Okay. So this is called resolution. Mithya is what? Resolution. And so, and in Sanskrit, they use the word laya for it. Laya. Okay. Layam. Pralayam, you must have heard of these words. Okay. So let's look at this concept of laya briefly. Laya. One laya is deep sleep. Every day there is a laya that happens in our life, correct? You go to sleep and it's a nitya laya. It happens every day, it happens. And that during that sleep, few hours of sleep, all my experiences, all my projections, all my thoughts, everything just disappears. Completely gone. Gone means gone, period. And only I exist, only Atma exists. Okay. And so that is called Nitya Laya. That's Laya. It's also a resolution. It's a disappearance. Okay. Then there is something called Mahapralaya. Pralaya or Mahapralaya. And what is that? That same sleep in which that applies to a human being, if you apply to the entire cosmos, where all things in the world, the entire universe, which is now manifest, becomes unmanifest. Means it's all gone. Nothing exists. As though nothing exists. Okay. That is called Mahapralaya, or Shastram talks about it. So many cycles, so many yugas and all that. And finally Mahapralaya. And so things don't exist as manifest objects. What is there is only consciousness, Atma. And everything dissolves, everything resolves. And that is called Mahapralayam. Okay. What is the first one? Nitya Laya. Nitya Laya is the pralaya that happens in my mind. And all the thought, my ideas of the world, nothing, the whole world disappears, period. In my mind, it disappears. Doesn't exist, not even a single thought. Who am I also doesn't exist. My identity gone. Correct? No identity. We can't say so-and-so physicist is sleeping or PhD is sleeping. No. Later on, you can say, you can wake up and give you whatever names you want, you can give yourself. But during sleep, identity also is not there. Correct? Very important. Identity is not there, because identity is the one that's so close to us. We can, then after that, we go ahead and achieve a lot of things, and then we are playing so many roles, father, mother, etc. But that basic identity is also not there in the deep sleep. So Nityalaya, then Mahapralaya, universe, the manifest universe becomes unmanifest. Avyaktam, Vyaktam becomes Avyaktam. Manifest means Vyakta. In Sanskrit, there's the word we use, Vyakta. So Vyaktam. So Vyaktam to Avyaktam is Mahapralayam. Okay. And then, so this is where all this Srishti, Sthiti, and Laya comes. So when it is said Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the preserver, and the Shiva is the destroyer, they will say. And so, what is the meaning? That's what this is. Brahma is the creator. He converts the unmanifest to manifest. Okay, unmanifest to manifest. Then what about Vishnu? What does he do? Well, he maintains the manifest. What is the meaning of maintaining manifest? Maintaining manifest means, like the world is running, very much running. The clock is ticking in the world. So many things are happening. And Vishnu is maintaining all of this. Sthiti. He is maintaining things. Means what? It doesn't mean things don't change. It doesn't mean things don't change. Change is constant. Correct? The body is changing. The trees are growing. I put the seed the other day. Now already I see a sprout. It's changing. Constant weathers are changing. Temperature is changing. Pressure is changing. Everything is changing. Now my house is not changing. No. House is also changing. That is why after some time the roof will start leaking, and paint goes away. And every day you have to wipe the floor. All these things happen because everything is changing constantly. Body also is changing, but the change is not so fast that you can't recognize. That is why after all the pandemic and all that, it's been now 3 years, your daughter has not visited you from her college. She's gone abroad. and she's coming back, and you're waiting, and suddenly pandemic stuck, and another 1 year wait, 2 years wait. Now Omicron, now you're thinking what to do. And then he said, come, just come for at least 2 weeks. Can you come? She says, yes. And then she comes. And, or he comes. He is a better example. I'll tell you why. Okay. He is a better example. So he comes. And then it's been 4 years, all told 4 years. He said, next year, ma. And then I have to save some money. And then that took away 2 years. And then pandemic took away another 2 years. 4 years have happened. And he enters the door. He looks very different because he has the beard and he has the mustache and all that. He never had all these things when he went. It's been 4 years. Now what are you going to say? You are a different boy. No, you're not the boy who left home. You're not going to say that. You're going to hug him. Why? Same, my dear son is entering the apartment. Do arati and all these things. Everything is done. Please come. And let all things be well. Bhadram. And then he enters. Why? 4 years means different person. He looks different. He's become taller also. And he's going to the gym also. And then doing all this, he's pumping weights. And so he looks so big now. Physically also. No. Despite all that change, let me repeat that. So, sthiti, the literal meaning of the word sthiti is what? Stha. Stha in Sanskrit means stability, staying, that which doesn't move. That is called stable, means that which doesn't move. And so that stha refers to that kind of stability, station, state. State means something that stays. And so, but sthiti is not just, to your eyes, it looks stable, but really speaking, it is not stable, not stationary, not unchanging. Okay. So sthiti, that is sthiti. And everything changes. Our body also is constantly changing. The sun is also constantly changing. We never think of the day, my God, so much energy and heat is coming out. Okay. In our home, the gas cylinder is there. You order it. After a month or two, you have to order again. What happened? Well, all the cooking you have done and requires energy, and the gas gets consumed. What about that guy who's shining every day in the morning, you see, and then shining all day and is burning. Something has to burn, and that whatever is burning has to reduce, keep on reducing, and it's changing. We don't know what will happen. The time the sun, when the gas is exhausting, the gas, the pressure is reducing in the gas cylinder. The day that happens there, up there, before that itself, we will perish. You know why? Because the sun is so important for our survival. The heat and the light and all that is important. And they say, even for a couple of days, the night time, the temperature drops. Daytime temperature rises. If that rise in temperature doesn't happen, what will happen to this temperature? It will drop further. And life will perish in no time. And so even that sun is changing. We don't think of the sun as changing. That is why we have to get up in the morning and do Surya Namaskar. Because of you, I'm surviving. Okay, minimum prayer is required. And so brilliant culture it is. And so two layas we discussed. We have to discuss a third laya called Atyanta Pralaya, which we will do in the next class. Okay, and that third pralaya is what is being referred to in this second quarter of this shloka. Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani. Okay, so we will continue this discussion very hopefully you'll come to the next class also. Okay. Om Swastik Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Lokas Samastas Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Kshobarahitah Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ